ladies and gentlemen. You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
It is a gorgeous Saturday afternoon in New York City, and it's time for baseball as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Baltimore Orioles in the middle game of a three-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball along with Kenny Singleton. I'm Michael Kay. Well, the Yankees' struggles continued last night. They lost one to the Orioles 6-1. Their lead is down to 2 in the American League East. And right in the middle of it was a guy by the name of Mark Reynolds.
Yeah, the first baseman for the Orioles had a big night, not only defensively, but certainly offensively. This is the second inning. He's one of these type of hitters that when he gets hot, he can be very dangerous. He's hitting over 300 his last 60 or so at bats. Last night, it was 2 home runs, his 13th and 14th of the year, and that powered the Orioles to a 6-1 victory over the Yankees in the opening game of the series.
Yankees have not played good baseball of late, Kenny. In their last 10 games, they're 3-7, average about 3 runs a game, batting average of .226, and about 1 home run per game, which is not what they do, and an ERA of 4.30. Speaking of pitching, let's look at today's New York Lottery pitching matchup. Chen, the rookie, will go for the O's. He's 12-7, 3.78. And the rookie for the Yankees, David Phelps, 3-4, 2.96. He was in line to get a victory last time out, Kenny, but the bullpen did not help him out.
Yeah, that was a game against Sorano, which Rafael Sorano gave up the lead in the 9th inning. But while Phelps was in there, he was very effective. He left with a 6-3 lead in the game. He did give up a home run, but still had the lead, and he always has been able to command his fastball. That's what I like best about David Phelps this season.
Well, he's got some help today because the call-ups are here. It's September 1st, and some of the guys that you've seen before are back with the Yankees. Who did they call up, and why did they do it? Ken Singleton will explain that next on Yes. That means the rosters can expand to up to 40. The Yankees have called up 6 people today. You know some of the names: Eduardo Nunez, Francisco Cervelli, Chris Dickerson, Corey Wade, Adam Warren, and the left-hander Justin Thomas. That's Ken Singleton. I'm Michael Kay. So what does it mean? Why did the Yankees choose those guys to call up?
Well, first of all, when you call up a catcher, as Cervelli is, and we've seen him in the past here in the major leagues, it gives Joe Girardi some flexibility. He can actually pinch run for a catcher later in the ball game without feeling he might run out of a player. The fact is, when you call up some extra pitchers, run into one of those extra long games, extra inning games, there's some flexibility there out of the bullpen. And when you have Dickerson and Nunez on your team, you have some guys with some speed. In particular with Nunez, he's in the lineup today. He's going to be the designated hitter for the Yankees.
Interesting, and we'll see if the Yankees actually go that deep on the bench, but these games are important. They are a little short with the injury, so this could be a big improvement for the Yankees. When we come back, lineups, first pitch, baseball, coming up next, right here on Yes. Brought to you in part by Cheeseburger, the most creative and fun restaurant on earth. Visit cheeseburger.com. By the professionals at your Tri-State GMC dealer. And by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. Yankees in the Orioles game 2 of this 3-game set, and David Phelps is on the mound, so let's take a look at the Orioles starting lineup that he is going to face. Leading off for the Orioles is their right fielder, Nick Markakis. Batting second and playing shortstop, J.J. Hardy. Nate McLeod at left field will hit third. Cleaning up the center fielder, Adam Jones. Matt Weeters will catch, will bat fifth. Batting sixth and DH and Chris Davis. Mark Reynolds at first base will hit seventh. Batting eighth and playing second base, Omar Quintanilla. And Manny Machado, the third baseman, bats ninth. That's the starting lineup presented by Bank of America.
For the Yankees today, a 25-year-old right-hander, David Phelps, on the mound in the middle game of this 3-game series. He's 1-0 in his career against the Baltimore Orioles. This will be his 7th start. You can see his record overall. Pretty good record, 3-4. Excellent earned run average, 2.96. Here's our McDonald's pitcher scouting report. Joe Girardi pointed out that David Phelps in his rookie year has been Mr. Versatility. He's been a starter. He's been a long man out of the bullpen. He's pitched in shorter situations in relief. You go back to May 14th of this year in Baltimore at Camden Yards. That's where David Phelps picked up his first major league win. It was in relief, and he's made a strong first impression in his initial season in the major leagues. No pitcher, no rookie pitcher in the league has a lower batting average against than the 226 that David Phelps possesses.
Well, the Yankees lose last night 6-1. The Orioles are now 2 games behind the Yankees. Yankees catch a little bit of a break as Tampa Bay lost to Toronto. Tampa Bay has gone into a little bit of a skid as well. Yankees 3-7 in their last 10. Nice crowd on hand here on a Saturday for Labor Day weekend. And the Yankees finish up the homestand with a game tomorrow and then a big road trip with 3 in Tampa Bay, 4 in Baltimore, and 3 in Boston. Markakis is ready. Phelps is ready. And let's do it here in the Bronx. Pitch is outside. We're underway.
Markakis had a good game last night. He had 3 hits. As we mentioned last night, he's really taken to the leadoff spot. And his 46 games leading off, he's hit 340, and he's raised his overall average from 256 to 297.
Count 3-0. When you asked Buck Showalter why Markakis up top, he said, we really don't have a real prime candidate other than Brian Roberts to lead off, and he's hurt. So we just put a good hitter up there.
You get the feeling it's going to be a permanent thing, because I think even if Brian Roberts comes back and he's had hip surgeries and he's been out with the concussion problems, that he might hit down in the order next year if he comes back.
Now, Showalter said that all the computer guys that give suggestions to the manager say the best hitter should bat first. The second best hitter in the lineup should bat second. Really? Third best hitter should bat third. He said because you want your best hitter to get the most at bats. But that also takes away at least 162 RBI opportunities if he starts every game. Markakis thought that might have been strike 3, but he ends up walking. So a runner on first base to start this game. Let's take a look at the Yankee defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Ichiro, Granderson, and Jones left, right in the outfield. Infield, Nix, Jeter, Cano, and Swisher. That's third to first. Russell Martin behind the plate. David Phelps on the mound. The DH today is going to be Eduardo Nunez, who was just called up.
I wonder how many of the computer guys have managed in the major leagues.
Not too many. J.J. Hardy takes strike.
And wouldn't you want your best hitter to come up in the first inning with a couple of men on base?
Count 2-1.
Hardy had a home run here last night. He's hit 9 of his last 10 games. I think one thing that goes kind of underrated about him is his fielding ability. He leads all major league shortstops in fielding percentage. He makes the plays. Maybe not flashy, but he gets the job done.
Runner goes. Ground ball up the middle. It's a base hit. Markakis round second. And he's going to go to third. So just like that, runners on the corners, nobody out.
Hit and run situation. Markakis has only stolen one base, but you can see the pitch was right there for Hardy to put in play. Singles through the middle. Markakis can cruise over to third base. And the Orioles are in business here in the top of the first inning.
So Phelps in an immediate jam. Orioles have struggled against rookie pitchers this year. They're 6-12 in games started against rookies, but off quickly here, threatening in the first with McLouth at the plate. Count 1-0. Let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. It's gorgeous out today. 87 degrees, 46% humidity, not much wind. It's partly cloudy, but the clouds look like little cotton balls on a blue background. Not too threatening. One and one.
Now here's an example. During his time in Pittsburgh, for quite a bit of the time, Clough was the leadoff hitter. And a lot of people felt while he was there, he was their best hitter. But he's batting third for Baltimore.
This could be two. There's one, and there's two with the run scoring. No RBI from McLouth, but Markakis does score.
Good play by Cano to stay with Hardy here. Watch him try to avoid the tag. Tags him on the neck. Then quickly unloads the swisher at first base for the double play. Downstairs with the tag. Back upstairs with the throw. And there's two outs. Hardy doing the best he can to try to avoid Cano. Maybe took a little knee to the shoulder as well.
There's Adam Jones. Pitch high. Count 2-0. Swing and a miss.
When Jones first came to the major leagues, the Orioles got him in a trade from Seattle. He's always been a pretty good defensive outfielder. He's won a Gold Glove in the past, but now you're starting to see his bat catch up to his defensive prowess. Career high in home runs this year.
Well, they caught him at the right time because in May they signed him to a 6-year extension, investing in Adam Jones' future. He signed through 2018.
Largest contract ever given out to a Baltimore player.
And Phelps with his second walk of the inning. He's impressed the Yankees, Kenny, because he's been a strike thrower. So to see him walk two here in the first inning, a little bit odd.
Yeah, it is. And I really think that, how he impresses during this stint in the rotation. It might depend on how he comes to spring training as a starter or a reliever. I think he has a legitimate shot to be in a rotation next year. He had come in only walking one batter in his last 17 2/3 innings.
There's a strike to Mount Weeters. Weeters has a 12-game hitting streak this year against the Yankees, so he's done well against them, but he's hitting .238 overall. Against the Yankees, hitting .413. They throw that one past Swisher. And Adam Jones advances to second, so an error on Phelps.
You might have heard the go, 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 and that was from Wayne Kirby, the first base coach, as he saw the errant throw. Of course, Adam Jones diving back to the bag, might not have seen the throw get away from Nick Swisher. And the error is charged to Phelps. See, Swish jumps over Jones in his pursuit of the ball, but it's going to be Cano who comes up with it and holds Adam Jones at second. A couple of all-stars talking it over at second base. Let's listen. Hear that deep voice, that baritone voice? Go, go, go.
So now another runner in scoring position.
Years ago, the Phillies had a third base coach named George Foghorn Meyer, and it's because his voice was so deep and you could hear it all over the ballpark. Especially in those days in Philly, there weren't many fans in the stands, so you could hear him outside the ballpark.
Crowd looking for a strikeout. Phelps will just take it out to end this inning. It's 1-0 Orioles. Runner at second. The 0-2. 1-2.
Let's take a look. Well, Weeters did hold up, and a good stop by Russell Martin. Ball squirts off to the side, but no advance by Jones.
Missed inside, 2-2. Mike Estabrook is the home plate umpire. Strike three. Weeters down looking. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 man left. Orioles 1 and the New York Yankees coming to bat. And it's presented, as always, by our good friends at Lexus. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, leads off. Playing first and batting second, Nick Swisher. The second baseman, Robertson Cano, hits third. Cleaning up, right fielder Andrew Jones. Center fielder Curtis Granderson will bat fifth. The catcher, Russell Martin, bats sixth. And Jason Nix is at third, batting seventh. Back. Called up, the DH, Eduardo Nunez. He bats eighth. And batting ninth and playing left field is Ichiro Suzuki.
Wei-Yin Chen, left-hander on the mound for Baltimore today. This will be his actually his third start against the Yankees this year. He's 1-0 with a no decision. And you can see he's had a pretty good initial season in the major leagues with 12 wins and 7 losses. And opponents hitting 244. Here's our McDonald's pitcher scouting report. He's got a fastball about 92, 93. He gets up on hitters because he's got a smooth, easy delivery, and all of a sudden he kind of flicks the ball and it gets up there pretty quickly. 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. 6 wins at home, 6 wins on the road. So he's been effective both at Camden Yards and away from Camden Yards. And Yu Darvish is the only rookie pitcher in the American League has more wins than Chen's that doesn't. Darvish has 13 wins.
Take a look at the Orioles defense. Brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. McLeod, Jones, and Markakis left to right in the outfield. In the infield, it's Machado, Hardy, Quintanilla, and Reynolds. That's third to first. Weeters is behind the plate. Wei-Yin Chen is on the mound. Chen is also the first pitcher in Orioles history to win 2 or more games in every calendar month from April through August in his rookie season.
So he's been pretty consistent.
Yes, he has.
He does lead their team in strikeouts.
Here's Derek Jeter. Swings at the first pitch and skies it to right field. And out of play. Derek leads the majors with 177 hits.
And he also leads the league in hitting against left-handed pitching, 374.
Kenny, how about this? A mark of consistency. 177 hits. Now it marks the 15th time in his career he's had at least 175 hits in a season. Only 2 other players in big league history have had as many as 175 hit seasons. Pete Rose had 16, and Ty Cobb has the same as Derek, 15.
And Cobb and Rose are the only hitters over 4,000 hits.
Yeah. One, two. Fly ball, left field, giving chase. The left fielder is McLeod, and he makes a great play. Former Gold Glove winner, he flashed the leather right there and took an extra base hit away from Jeter.
Yeah, we talked about this last night, and all 3 of the defenders in the outfielders have won a Gold Glove at one time or another. McLeod was a center fielder in Pittsburgh, and he shows you center fielder type range, which you need to play left field at Yankee Stadium. Jones, McLeod, and Markakis, all Gold Glove winners, and there's the left fielder flashing his Gold Glove form. It's on Yesmo, and he makes an excellent catch and holds on as he hits the turf in deep left center field, robbing Jeter of what would have been a 3-base hit.
That'll bring up Nick Swisher. Nick struck out 4 times last night. And he's had the strikeout bug of late, just 2 hits and 16 at bats, and in the 14 outs he's made 10 of them on strikeouts.
Last night we saw Miguel Gonzalez of Baltimore set a career high in strikeouts with 9. His previous had been 8, and that was against the Yankees. And he did a good job of changing speeds on Nick Swisher.
Right into the hands of Swisher, 1 and 2.
And the rest of the Yankees as well. Fastball, good splitter down, fastball up. I was talking to Kevin Long, the hitting coach, and he said that Gonzalez did as good a job as any pitcher this year as mixing things up on the Yankee hitters last night.
Laced into right field, coming on Markakis, and he makes a nice play for the second out.
Well, the outfielders are falling like bowling pins out there in the outfield where they're coming up with the plays. First the left fielder and now the right fielder, Markakis. He's going to lay out and hold on. And that's out number 2. They cover a lot of ground, and all 3 have very strong throwing arms.
Here's Robinson Cano. Fly ball left field. This one more routine as McLeod makes the play for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. 3 fly balls on 9 pitches. We're going to go to the second. It's 1-0 Orioles. What will have the biggest influence on the pennant races? Here are your choices. Will it be September call-ups, the return of injured players, or the schedule? Now you can text your vote to 42951, and standard text messaging rates apply. I think on the Yankee side, it's definitely going to be a combination of 2 and 3.
Yeah.
The injured players and the schedule, because if you look at the last 10 games of the Yankee schedule, they should be able to win a lot of those games if they need to, because they'll play Minnesota, Toronto, and Boston.
Although Toronto's certainly making things miserable for the Tampa Bay Rays.
And they took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees. So David Phelps a little shaky in the first inning with a couple of walks, but gave up just 1 run. So now Chris Davis will step in. It'll be Davis, Reynolds, and Quintanilla. Count 1-0.
Career high 23 home runs for Chris Davis, who we'd seen him a number of years with the Texas Rangers. Yeah, it just seemed that when he got cold in Texas, which is kind of hard to do, his streaks of not hitting were long enough to have him being sent back to the minor leagues. Although Davis has done something this year that Babe Ruth did, win a game as a pitcher and hit 3 home runs in a game during the course of this season. He had a 3 home run game not too long ago against the Blue Jays. And of course, that epic game in Boston earlier this season, I think it went 17 innings. He was the winning pitcher. He told Buck Showalter that I pitched in college.
Another 3-2 count by Phelps. 14% of the batters he's faced have gone to a full count. That's team high, and it's his 3rd full count for the game. And he ends up hitting Davis, so that's not a walk. It's hit by pitch, but still a free pass.
Well, the free pass last inning to lead off the game was the run that scored, as Markakis scored the run on a double play ball off the bat of McLeod. And this one, Davis takes it just below the knee.
Kenny, early on, he does not look sharp.
No, he does. Well, he's throwing the ball well. It's just no idea where it's going at this moment. Focus in on the glove.
Reynolds, who hit 2 home runs yesterday, takes outside 1-0. Count 2-0.
Reynolds was asked about his game last night in the clubhouse after the ball game was over, and one of the writers said to him, you made a couple of great defensive plays. How does it feel to impact the game with your glove and the bat? He says, you might be the first person to ever ask me that. We know about his troubles fielding at third base, but now he's learning the intricacies of playing first base. You know, everybody thinks you just go over the first base and catch the throws. There've got to be certain places on certain plays as a first baseman, and he's starting to get the feel of it on the right side of the infield.
Count 3-0.
This is not the David Phelps we've seen most of the year. With the good control today, can't find the plate in the early going.
Reynolds takes a strike. Thought he had ball 4.
Defense from last night. That's Russell Martin thinking he has a hit, but a good play by Reynolds to snag the line drive. Goes airborne and holds on. And his feet come down inbounds. Then another good play. And this is Jason Nix robbed of a hit.
That time Reynolds said, well, I'll wait till Estabrook makes the call. So third walk by Phelps. Crowd starting to get a bit restless, and I'm sure Joe Girardi is as well.
Oh, we saw Buck Showalter put a hit and run on in the first inning with Hardy, and it worked to perfection. Chase Markakis in third, set up a run in the first inning. Now with 2 men on, he's got Keith Dania up here with a chance to advance the runners. You have to remember, Keith Dania is 0 for his last 23. That spells bunt to me.
And it smelled right. Ground ball to third on the bunt. Nix makes the throw. The sacrifice successful. 5-3 as the runners move up.
Now, when you're 0 for 23, you better field your position well, and when called upon to do the little things like sacrifice, you better be able to do that well, else somebody else will be in there. Quintanilla gets the job done with no problem. Excellent bunt. Only 1 play for Nix on the swisher for the out.
Come on, Ian.
Now that's going to bring up Manny Machado. Yankees are in at the corners with a runner on third base and a runner on second, but back at short and second. You know, there was some concern about bringing Machado up at the age of 20, and Buck was asked today, are you guys worried about setting him back or ruining him? He said, Billy Martin taught me something. He said, no matter how bad we are, we can't foul up the good ones. He said if he's good, he's going to be good. If it's rusted a bit, he's still going to be good.
He's compared to Alex Rodriguez. How old was Alex? Was he 19?
19.
When he got called up?
He started off well, but he has slid just a bit in the last 12 games. 2-0 count here. And there's a base hit to center field. Scoring is Davis. Reynolds will stop at third. It's an RBI for Machado, and it's 2-0 Orioles.
So the leadoff walk scored in the first inning. The hit batter scores here in the second, leading off the inning. And now it is 2-0. And Machado has had 3 straight hits going back to last night. Single in the 8th, single in the 9th, and a single here in the second. And once again, Larry Rothschild coming out, and you can expect the Yankee bullpen to get busy here. Don't want this game to get away early.
Well, you see some stirring out there, and this base hit is why.
Goes down and gets it. Lines it back through the middle, gives himself a run batted in, his 11th major league run batted in.
Now the Yankees have more people in their bullpen because of the call-ups, so we'll have some action out there. New to the bullpen is Adam Warren, Corey Wade, and Justin Thomas, a left-hander. And you see Rapada up. And Cody Eppler. Strange to see them up in the second inning.
Yeah.
They're usually the mix and match guys in the 6th or the 7th. Earliest you see them is the 5th, but here in the second they're up as Nick Markakis digs in. (0-1).
Markakis, a career .304 hitter against the Yankees. I mentioned last night he had the hamate bone surgery, and he's got a nice scar on the palm of his right hand. And what he's done, you can see him choking up on the bat because the knob of the bat actually digs in when he swings. So to keep that from happening, he chokes up a bit. He's still not 100%.
That almost hit Markakis. Only 3 other American League players have had 30 or more doubles in each of the last 5 seasons. Cano, David Ortiz, and Michael Young. So Markakis is number 4. 3 walks today for David Phelps. He had 1 in his previous 17 2/3. Martin could not hold on to that 3rd strike, so Markakis stays alive.
Yeah, that foul tip got a good piece of him. I believe off the mask. Yeah, almost a direct hit.
That's simply luck catching a foul tip. Your glove has to be right there. Estabrook dusted up home plate just to give Martin some time to collect himself.
You'll see the catchers walk out and talk to the pitchers when the umpires get hit.
Kind of an unwritten rule. Gentleman's agreement. The 1-2. This could be 2. There's 1. There's 2. So Phelps got just what he needed to get out of further trouble. But the Orioles get another run on just 1 hit and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. Andrew Jones will lead off. Yankees trail 2-0. For a special giveaway when the Yankees take on the Rays, the first 18,000 guests 21 and older receive a plastic Yankees mug courtesy of Budweiser. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. All things considered, Kenny, the way Phelps has pitched, 2-0 is not a terrible thing. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, double play got him out of the jam last inning. Markakis not the easiest player to double up, but it was nicely turned by Jeter and Cano and Swisher. And now the Yankees have a chance to go to work offensively, down 2-0.
right, we go to 4, 5, and 6 in the Yankee order. We'll start it off with Andrew Jones and Curtis Granderson and Russell Martin. Shows you where the Yankees are with their right-handed hitting lineup. And no disrespect meant in this comment, but Andrew Jones is really at this point in his career not a cleanup hitter. But they've used Andrew Jones twice this week, and they used Steve Pearce once.
Andrew Jones is more of a complimentary hitter. He may be batting 6th in your lineup, following an A-Rod and a Teixeira.
Orioles shift for Jones with 3 infielders on the left side. Andrew just 4 hits in his last 23 at-bats. Alex Rodriguez a rehab yesterday, rehabbing this weekend, and he's hoping that he could be back for the series in St. Pete, which starts on Labor Day Monday. And that would solve some of their problems because, boom, there's your right-handed bat in the middle of the order.
And Teixeira, when he eventually returns to the Yankee lineup, I mean, you switch him.
Now that Teixeira returned, they're not so sure. They certainly don't want him to return with the calf injury on artificial turf in St. Pete. Line foul. So they will hold their breath and hope he comes back sometime during the Orioles series in Baltimore. But again, the calf injury is a very, very difficult injury to handicap. There's Brett Gardner. He's been on the DL for most of the year. Ground ball to third. Machado with the strong arm gets Andrew Jones for the first out.
There's an example of why Machado was a #1 draft pick. That was a laser across the diamond. Remember, he's not primarily a third base, he's a shortstop.
Here's Granderson. Now the Yankees off the snide yesterday with a home run in the 9th inning, and that was the only thing that stopped the shutout. Count 0-2. Full dugout. It gets a lot more full as more people get called up in September.
Yeah, wait till they get to Fenway Park.
Good luck.
Yeah. Reserve seating only. You got to call ahead.
Francisco Cervelli is back.
I mean, those dugouts haven't changed since Fenway was built. It's the 100th year of the ballpark, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Granderson's home run in the 9th inning came off Mattis, so he now has 29 home runs against left-handed pitchers over the last 2 seasons. That's the most of anybody in the major leagues, including right-handed batters. Strike 3. Granderson down looking.
Chen picks up his first strikeout of the afternoon. And I bet you Granderson thought that was a little high and had the break and did get the plate. But he's called out on strikes by Mike Estabrook. This is on the upper end of the strike zone. Borderline, but it's called a strike.
Russell Martin swings and misses. Missed inside, 1-1.
Chen's able to spot his fastball. He's been doing it all season long. He's not afraid to double up on fastballs inside. Following the fastball to Martin, he went to a changeup away. Curveball's pretty sharp. There's Rick Adair, the pitching coach. I think this guy's been a pleasant surprise. They didn't really know what they were going to get. But he's won 12 games. Second most of any rookie in the American League. Now he's an experienced pitcher. He pitched in Japan the last few years. He's from Taiwan.
High fly ball, right field, deep, going back Markakis. He's on the track at the wall. He makes the play for the final out of the second inning. So the Yankees go down in order 1-2-3 against Wei-Yin Chen. We're going to the third. J.J. Hardy will lead off, and this is the final out as Markakis used up most of the ballpark. Jones moves from right to left. Ichiro Suzuki moves from left to center. Nick Swisher moves from first to right. Taking over at first base for Nick Swisher is Steve Pearce. So the odd man out is Curtis Granderson. And this is what happened toward the end of the inning. Steve Donahue, the trainer, is in on that, and Joe Girardi then starts to maneuver to fill the hole. And the last thing the Yankees need is another injury. So we'll see exactly what's going on. J.J. Hardy takes a strike.
I think if you take a look at the final pitch here, and you see his reaction, there's a little bit of a grimace there at the end of that being called out on strikes. And, you know, originally you think, well, just because he's called out on strikes, but then you see the reaction from Stevie Donahue and manager Joe Girardi, and you're thinking it might be something else more serious.
J.J. Hardy lofts a fly ball to left. Andrew Jones for the first out. Hard to tell.
Yeah.
Can't play doctor from up here, but you see he's now talking to Dana Cavier, the strength and conditioning coach, and Steve Donahue. Lincoln scoreboard has the Orioles up 2-0, so obviously we get information, we'll pass it right on to you, but Granderson is out of the ballgame, so pencil Steve Pearce into his spot as Nate McLeod lines one foul. So that means that Pearce will start in bat in the fifth hole. Tampa Bay has jumped out to a 2-0 lead over Toronto. That's top of the third. Popped up and out of play. The Yankees, one thing they've done this year is they have really, in a gutty way, grinded through the injuries. And they've had a lot of injuries to significant players, and they battled through.
But today's their 81st consecutive day in first place. That's half the season.
Now, the one thing that concerns you, and I think it might have happened when Teixeira went down, there comes a tipping point where it becomes almost too much to overcome. Because when you take Teixeira and A-Rod out of the lineup, that's your 3 and 4 hitters, or 4 and 5, whichever way you want to look at it. These are the guys that have gone on the DL this year, and those are significant players. Strike 3, McLeod down looking. So the last thing they need is to lose Granderson for any amount of time, but again, we'll see what happens. McLeod did not like that call, and he tells Estabrook as much.
Good job of a frame job by Russell Martin. We can see here if that looks like it was off the plate. McLeod takes a look back at Estabrook in disbelief.
And other teams will say, well, we have a lot of injuries too. The Orioles, I think, have 10 guys in the DL, but have they lost the greatest closer of all time? 3-time MVP, Gold Glove winner at first. I mean, those are big people to lose. And Brett Gardner was either going to lead off or bat ninth at any time during the year. Those are big time players.
And you can't replace his defense, which was superb in left field. But other teams, everybody's had them. I mean, the Rays will point out Evan Longoria hadn't been with the team, but maybe 2 months overall for the whole season. The Red Sox will point to the fact that they've had a magnitude of injuries this year.
Everybody's had injuries.
How about the Blue Jays?
Lost 60% of their staff within 3 days.
So it's almost who can survive the best, and I think the Yankees overall have done the best job of surviving all their injuries.
And the greatest lament you hear from Yankee fans, well, they had a 10-game lead, and now it's 2. Well, the 10-game lead allows you to go through this kind of slump without losing first place, but at some point they have to stop the bleeding. This low to Jones, count 2-2. You build up leads because you want to protect slumps. That's what a 162-game season would dictate. But sometimes you let it get away from you. The Yankees again have to stop it now. Strike 3. Phelps looked a lot sharper in that inning. With 2 strikeouts, the Orioles go down in order 1-2-3. We're going to go to the bottom of the 3rd inning and the bottom third of the Yankee order.
is all about options, and as I reported in the pregame show, the Yankees have 6 more of them thanks to the expanded roster. Joe Girardi didn't waste any time utilizing one of those options in Eduardo Nunez, who's in the starting lineup as the DH. When he was up here earlier in this season, his bat was certainly not the problem. However, he struggled defensively at times. When they sent him down to the AAA team, they told him to work on mastering one position instead of trying to play several, something they think has paid high dividends for him defensively. He played shortstop a lot. They feel as though he's made a lot of progress. Joe Girardi was so confident in the progress that he made. He was actually in the lineup to play short today, thinking Jeter would want a DH day game after a night game. However, Derek Jeter came in and said he felt fine, so they flip-flopped that order, so you'll have to wait and see exactly how much progress Eduardo Nunez has made. Also noteworthy, GM Brian Cashman said they'll call up at least one more player. Casey McGee expected to join the team when they go to Tampa. And on the injury front, Andy Pettitte will take the next step. He's expected to throw a bullpen in the coming days, and Alex Rodriguez, who DH'd for the Tampa Yankees last night, is penciled in at third today. He'll likely DH again tomorrow, and they are not ruling out the fact that he can possibly join this team when they travel to Tampa on Monday.
Well, thank you, Meredith. So a lot of information there on some of the call-ups, and we'll see Eduardo Nunez second in this inning as Jason Nix is 0-2 in the count. Lincoln scoreboard 2-0 Orioles over the Yankees. Count 1-2.
Be interesting to see how things work out for Andy Pettitte from this point on. It appears that he's progressing to the point where he might become a factor later on in the month. You're looking at Chen, and when the Orioles signed him, they also signed a left-hander from Japan, Tsuyoshi Wada. Yeah, but Wada been out with elbow surgery all year.
Nick swings and misses. Well, follow the Yankees with the MLB.com app, Bat 12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at BAT to 31826 or visit Yankees.com for details. And here is Eduardo Nunez. Tough for the Yankees to send him down, but he had become a liability in the field. He seemed to be booting a ball every time he was out there. So they sent him down. He didn't get as much time in that he wanted to with work because he was out 2 months on the DL with a right thumb inflammation. He was out from May 20th to July 23rd.
You can see how that thumb is kind of taped up.
High fly ball left field. McLeod for the second out.
I was saying that the Orioles also signed Tsuyoshi Wada, and Wada's been working in Sarasota rehabbing, and the last time the Orioles were in Tampa Bay, he came up to the ball game at Tropicana Field, but he didn't bring in his interpreter with him, so Buck Showalter couldn't talk to him, although he did find out that Chen speaks a little Japanese. So what Buck had to do, he had to go to Chen's interpreter in Chinese, say what he wanted to him, and then Chen would say what he wanted to Wada in Japanese, and then so what would normally be like a 10-second conversation took like 3 or 4 minutes.
Amazing. 1-1. Slash the other way, 1-2.
And was basically saying, how you feeling? How's the arm doing?
Two 2-0 Orioles lead. We're in the bottom of the third. There's a resume on Chen. He's from Taiwan. Played for the Chunichi Dragons, Olympic Games, the Chinese Taipei, signed by the Orioles in January. Ground ball to second. And Chen has worked a perfect 3 innings against the Yankees, 9 up and 9 down. Okay, we go to the 4th inning. Matt Weeters will lead it off. Mickey Mantle hit 280 home runs during the 1950s. Who are the only two players hit 300 or more home runs during that decade?
I think I know one of them.
We'll all find out. Both of them in the bottom of the inning. 2-0. Orioles lead the Yankees. Matt Weeters will lead off against David Phelps. David Phelps was much better in the third inning than he had previously in the first and second. And Weeters skies one foul, left side, out of play.
You look at Weeters, switch hitting catcher. Been an all-star the last 2 years. And you look at his overall batting average of 238. It's actually dragged down by this side of the plate. He's only hitting 215. He started the day at 215 as a left-handed hitter, and you get many more at-bats against right-handed pitching. He's actually over 300 batting left-handed. But he's got power from both sides. And he has thrown out 27 runners attempting to steal this year.
Coming into today as a left-handed batter 215, right-handed batter 304. That one is driven deep to right field. There it goes. See ya into the second deck. 3-0 Orioles.
I mentioned he's got power from both sides. That's his 14th home run out of the 18 from the left-hand side of the plate. And he has now hit in every game the Yankees and the Orioles have played this year. All 13 games he's had at least one hit.
Chris Davis grounds one foul. th home run for Weeters. (0-2) to Davis.
Every time I see a catcher hit a home run, I remember what Torre used to say to Jorge Posada after hitting a homer. He said, "Nice job. Now go out and handle the pitchers."
Count 1-2. Fly ball center field. Suzuki will make the play for the first out. That's going to bring up Mark Reynolds. He walked in the second inning. Hit 2 home runs in yesterday's game. Orioles won 6-1 last night. They're up 3-0 here this Saturday afternoon.
Reynolds is one of those types of hitters. He can run hot. He can run very cold. And right now he's on somewhat of a hot streak. He's hitting over 300 in his last 70 at-bats. And I was talking to Mike Bordick, who is the analyst on the Orioles telecast, working today, and he said one thing that Reynolds has done, he's kind of calmed himself. You don't see as much movement out of him once he gets in the batter's box. He's kind of calmed down and just trying to make more of a compact swing.
Fouled away and out of play.
So for him right now, speaking of Reynolds, he is on a bit of a roll, and that's why Buck Showalter has him in the lineup. For a while there, he took him out.
And a walk, another walk issued by David Phelps. 4 walks. That matches his season high, which he had on May 9th. And Joe Girardi has to get the bullpen up again. Zeppeli again.
Shouldn't take him long to get ready. He's already been up 1 time.
There's Quintanilla, sack bunt, his first time up. That same duo up again.
Mike Harkey, the bullpen coach, on the phone, keeping things in order out in the pen. You know, it's interesting from a bullpen coach's standpoint. When a pitcher is called in a game, it just doesn't inform him you're going in a game. It's his job to tell him who he's going to be facing, how many outs there is, and then the manager usually reinforces that when a pitcher gets into the ball game. You know, he'll tell him, you know, situations, how many outs there are.
And he's picked off right there. Phelps with a good move to first.
This looked like, was he going? No, just got picked off.
Just sleeping.
He was frozen. Good quick move by Phelps, and he picks himself up to second out of the inning. That will go as a pickoff, not a caught stealing.
Quintanilla with a high fly ball. Suzuki is there, and he'll make the play. The Orioles tack on a run on the Weeters home run. Nobody left. Weeters goes yard to right. Yankees looking their first hit. Jeter will lead off. quiz. Mantle hit 280 home runs during the 50s. Who are the only two players hit 300 or more home runs during that decade, Kenny?
I think Duke Snider's one of them. I think.
Let's see.
I think he led the decade in Duke Snider and Gil Hodges, two former Brooklyn Dodgers. Duke Snider led the decade in home runs. A Hall of Famer. And a lot of people feel Gil Hodges should be one.
Well, Wei-Yin Chen has been perfect through 3. Yankees looking for their first base runner. Derek Jeter robbed of at least a double, possibly a triple, a diving play by McLeod in the first. Tapped slowly to first base. Reynolds flips to Chen for the first out.
You notice how Weeters went out to the mound, and it's, you know, he's saying something to Chen, but it also gives him a little bit more time after covering first base.
Wei-Yin Chen has been exercising the formula. First pitch strikes to all 10 batters so far. Here's Nick Swisher. To all 11 batters.
We told you had the ability to spot his fastball. Comes back with a changeup and catches the corner.
Nick's not in love with that call. So far against the Yankees this year, this is what Chen has done. 1 win and 1 no decision, and the no decision was his major league debut on April 10th.
Got a nice, easy, smooth delivery. And you see that little bit of a hesitation, and then the zip with the fastball. Right when he turns, could be a little disconcerting for the hitters.
Ground ball to second. Quintanilla. Yankees still looking for their first base runner.
Now the first 6 outs, I had 4 of them hit pretty well off of Chen, but since then nothing's been really hit hard. We had the great play by McLeod, good play by Markakis and Wright, and the outfielders, the first 2 hitters of the game. Andrew Jones hit the ball fairly well, but it was a great throw by Machado. And Russell Martin hit the ball to the wall and right. But since then, Chen's been pretty tough.
Breaking ball strike. 0-1 on Cano. So he started every single hitter off with a strike. Count 0-2. 48 pitches, 33 strikes. Bottom of the 4th inning, it's 3-0 O's. Lined out to left field. That's going to be trouble. That ball is gone. First hit, first run. Yankees on the board. It's 3-1 O's. An opposite field shot for Robertson Cano.
Pitch that was not supposed to be a strike, and maybe it wasn't. You saw Weeters. He wanted it higher than that. Maybe get Cano to chase it. But it rode the fringes of the strike zone close enough that Cano could get some good wood on it, go with it, and hit one against the traffic. Opposite field home run, his 28th home run of the year.
Strike to Andrew Jones.
So
28th home run, 71st ribby.
Yeah, with one pitch, shutout gone, no hitter gone. Perfect game gone.
Ground ball is short. Hardy gets Andrew Jones, and that will do it. Andrew Jones now 5 for his last 41. But the Yankees are on the board. A home run by Cano. 3-1 O's. Having trouble scoring runs, so that 4 runs an outburst for them. Yankees get a bit of an outburst with the home run by Cano in the 4th, and that was their first hit. First base runner. Cadillac scoreboard. Orioles still lead 3-1 as we head to the 5th inning. David Phelps still on the mound. He has struggled, he has labored, but 3-1 certainly is not an insurmountable lead for the O's. And Manny Machado drove in a run. He leads off. High fly ball, deep left center, backing up Ichiro. He's on the track. He'll make the play for the first out. You might have heard that in the background. Jason Zillo, the Yankees communications director, announced that Curtis Granderson has left the game with a tight right hamstring.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a MRI in his future. What did they do before MRIs?
They walk up to him and go, "How do you feel?"
And that was it?
Mm-hmm.
So they would say my hamstring's a little tight, and they'll go and look with MRI and see how tight it actually is.
Guess so. Outside, count 2-2 on Marquez. back. And another full count. You keep going full count, your pitch count's going to get higher than it should.
Well, in fifth inning, it's 81 pitches. That is somewhat elevated.
Right in on the hands and foul back. That's the breakdown. 24 in the first, 20 in the second, and 8 so far this inning. So 82, 1 out into the fifth. Again fouled the other way.
Marquez fouling several pitches off here, and he's already had one lengthy at bat today. He's kind of taken to this leadoff role. Remember Johnny Damon fouling pitch after pitch after pitch off like that.
Foul ball.
Yeah, it's like his baseball souvenir day every time he came up. This is the 10th pitch of this at bat. Five foul balls off the bat of Marquez here in the fifth inning. 6.
And the 3-2. Another foul ball. Has to be very frustrating for a pitcher. And usually the longer the at bat goes, the better chance the hitter wins that battle.
Because all of a sudden, you're just throwing for the plate and trying not to walk him on a 3-2 pitch, and you throw something too good. And he's got you timed after all these pitches.
And he works a walk. Second time Marquez has walked. Fifth walk, a career high for David Phelps. J.J. Hardy 1 for 2 today. Pitch outside from Phelps. Those same two up again, pitching along with Phelps, and you lose those guys if you keep getting them up and you don't bring them in.
These two batters, or these two players, with Marquez at first and Hardy hitting, worked a beautiful hit and run in the first inning. At the time there was nobody out. You could still do it with 1 out.
Well, this is by far been Phelps' least impressive outing as a Yankee, both relief and starting. Just doesn't seem to have any command whatsoever.
And that was kind of right from the beginning of the game. When we walked Marquez to lead off the ball game, and he came around to score. He hit Davis in the second. He came around to score.
3-1 to Hardy. A lot of managers like to hit and run on 3-1. Figure you get a strike, and if you don't, then it's ball 4. Now Marquez has not been running as well since the surgery last year on the abdominal muscle. So that takes some of that away from Showalter. He doesn't want to push him.
You see, but the thing is not him stealing. It's just be in motion and relying on Hardy to put the ball in play like he did in the first inning.
Does not go. 3-2. Orioles had to change their signs coming into this series because the Yankees have Steve Pearce on their team, who played for the Orioles, and you always have to be mindful of that. Boy, Phelps has a good move for a right-hander.
Yeah, he's quick. Markakis just got back. Which manager was it that told you that, yeah, we got to change the signs because he was one of the few players that knew him?
I forget.
Was that Bobby V? Oh, when Darnell McDonald joined the Yankees.
Yes.
Yeah, it just throw over the first. You can see Markakis just getting back with the right hand. He's one of the few players that knew the signs. So he had to change him.
Runner goes. Lofted to left field, coming on Andrew Jones, and he makes the play. Can they double him up? No. Hardy retired for the second out.
That ball hung up just long enough for Andrew Jones to run underneath it and make the play in left field. And you can see Markakis kind of hung out in no man's land. He wasn't sure if the catch was going to be made. You have to hustle back. Andrew Jones thrown on the run like you might see an infielder. Throws well off line. Watch him reach out. This is your basic shoestring catch. Here's Markakis. Gotta hustle back.
McLeod takes inside 1-0. Phelps is one away from his high pitch count for the season, which he achieved August 18th against the Red Sox. Count 1-1.
Now Phelps has only given up 3 hits. It's the walks that have gotten him in trouble. Have elevated his pitch count, having to face more hitters. Giving up 2 singles and a home run.
Averages 86 pitches per start. Three and one. Jones is on deck. And he walked him. Another walk for Phelps, and that's going to do it. So Joe Girardi signals for the right-hander Epley to face Jones, and as shaky as Phelps was, it's still just 3-1. Now the Yankee offense has been sputtering, so 3-1 seems like a lot, but he didn't let the game get away. Now Epley has to stop it right here as Phelps departs. Joe Girardi makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T. So Phelps is done, and Epley is on the mound. "39 hits in 36 innings. This is his 46th game.
Side-arming right-hander to face Adam Jones. That was not the David Phelps that we have seen all year. 6 walks, as Michael told you, a season high, and it just didn't seem to have his rhythm today. Couldn't locate his pitches. Delivery was kind of out of whack. That resulted in the 6 base on balls. Only 3 hits, but 6 walks. And when you're walking that many, that's going to force your pitch count up and up and up.
And he also had hit batter in addition to the 6 walks. So he gives up 3 runs. The runners on first and second are his responsibility. And it's Epley's responsibility to end this inning facing Adam Jones. Count 1-0. Lined into left field, backing up Andrew Jones, and he makes the play over his shoulder for the final out of the 5th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left. We're halfway through. Orioles up by 2. What will have the biggest influence on the pennant races? And here's how you vote it. Texting to 42951. 61% say it's the return of the injured players, then the schedule, and then the September call-ups. There's a big cry around baseball. I thought Joel Sherman had a great column in the Post yesterday, and Buck Showalter was talking about it today, where it's unfair to have 5 months of a season decided with a 25-man roster, and then the most important games of the year are in September, and you're playing against rosters with 38 people. And the general feeling, and Buck echoed this as well, call up as many people as you want, but you have to submit a 25-man roster for each game. He's Steve Pearce, and he takes pitch up and away. Pearce came in when Granderson went down with a hamstring strain. Cadillac scoreboard 3-1, bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, some teams don't call up as many players as other teams.
Now, we don't know. I should take that back about Granderson. What did they say?
A tight.
A tight. So we don't know if it's a strain. So don't get too anxious about that. It's a tight right hamstring, and they're looking into it further. So this is Pierce's first at bat in Granderson's spot. These are the call-ups for the Orioles. Avery, an outfielder who was with the Orioles 24 games previously. Luis Exposito, a catcher. And Steve Tollison, the son of Wayne Tollison, used to play for the Yankees. An outfielder and an infielder. They've been moving people back and forth. They probably hold the record for moves with their AAA team.
Wilson Betemit should be back from a disabled list stint.
Swing and a miss on a change as Pierce strikes out.
Strikeout number 3 for Chen without a walk today.
Ground ball is short. Hardy gets Russell Martin. Logan up in the Yankee pen.
Now the formula for Chen is throw those first pitch strikes, be unpredictable with his pitches. He has only struck out 3, but only 57 pitches here in the 5th inning. First pitch strike.
And that's been his game plan, and he has executed it. Yankees have had 1 base runner. He didn't stay on base too long as Robertson Cano circled the bases, a home run. Broke up a perfect game. And that was with 2 outs in the 4th.
15 of the 16 batters, first pitch strike.
And very economical. Very efficient.
Some fans out there might be wondering what's the big deal with a first pitch strike. The first pitch strike makes hitters defensive, and they're all of a sudden they're in a hole. And more often than not, when you throw a first pitch strike, you're going to get the hitter out. And when it goes the other way, the hitter's more aggressive. You have to throw a better pitch for him to hit. And that's when you start falling behind hitters, that's when pitchers get in trouble.
Also, there's a stat, and I'm not even going to fake it here, that your average deviates 100 points from 0-1 to 1-0.
Exactly.
Might be more than 100 points. All those swings and counts. 2-1, 1-2.
The 1-1 pitch, always a big pitch. 2-2.
Just missed with that one. Count 3-2.
Has he had a 3-ball count today?
I know Phelps did. This is either the first or the second. Payoff. And there's another base runner for the Yankees as Nitz works a 2-out walk here in the 5th. Nunez takes a strike.
There was one other 3-ball count.
And that was to Swisher in the 4th inning, and he ended up grounding out the 2nd. Runner at first, 2 men out. And the 0-1. Inside 1-1. Fly ball center field. Coming in is Jones. He's there, and that'll do it. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left. 5 in the books in the Bronx. It's 3-1 Orioles. Matt Weeters is going to lead off the 6th. In our music and computer world, and by the Home Depot, more saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. We go to the 6th inning, and the Orioles lead the Yankees 3-1. It's a new Yankee pitcher. It's going to be the left-hander Boone Logan. So David Phelps went 4 2/3. He gave up 3 hits, 3 runs, 3 strikeouts, 6 walks, and 1 hit batter. Then Cody Epley pitched the 3rd of an inning, and now it's Boone Logan.
Logan making his 62nd appearance of the season. That momentarily ties him with Joel Peralta of the Tampa Bay Rays as the busiest men out of the bullpens in the American League this year.
Weeters turns around to the right side, takes pitch low, 1-0.
Weeters with the home run his last time up. Now he's hitting 6 straight games. And this is the side of the play where his batting average is up over 300.
And a strike.
Now, we told you in the past that Weeters is out of Georgia Tech, so they produce switch hitters and Gold Glove winners. Mark Teixeira, of course, switch hitter out of Georgia Tech. We hope that Tex is recovering nicely. Be back soon from that strained calf muscle.
Wasn't a switch hitter, but didn't they also produce no more?
Yes, that's true.
2-2. Jason Varitek,
switch hitter.
Yeah. Count 3-2 on Weeters.
Well, Weeters was at Georgia Tech. He was a catcher, and he also was the closer. So he'd get the pitcher to a certain point, then take over the game himself from the other end.
7th walk issued to the Orioles as Weeters starts up the 6th inning.
Yeah, Russell Martin and Boone Logan thought that was a strike. And we get a look. Oh, they look right along the border. It did have the plate.
I guess a little low.
A touch.
Here's Chris Davis, who's 5 for 8 lifetime against Logan. Breaking ball, 1-0. Swing and a miss. Driven out to left field. Andrew Jones turned the wrong way, then righted himself for the first out.
The ball off the bat of a left-handed hitter like Davis is going to slice towards the line. And you saw just about midstream, Andrew Jones make that turn. Looking over the left shoulder, now turns back over the right, makes the play. Years of playing the outfield. Certainly not the range he once had, but still the moves.
Reynolds fouls it off. Trying time for that man and this team as the Yankees have lost 7 of 10. They've seen a lead that was once 10 games now whittled down to 2. Grounded to third. Tough hop for Nix. He gets the force at second. Back to first. Double play. Turned beautifully. 5-4-3. And a great pivot by Robertson Cano. We're going to the bottom of the 6th inning. Yankees looking for offense. It'll be Ichiro, Jeter, and Swisher. Verizon Fios. Introducing Verizon Fios Quantum Speed, internet twice as fast as anything America has ever seen. You've got Chris Tillman on mound, 7-2, 3.26 against Phil Hughes. He's 13-11 with a 4.02. And our coverage begins at yes at 12:30 with the pregame show. First pitch will be right around 107, 108. And there's Phil. He'll get the start. They moved him up and moved Freddie Garcia to Tuesday against Tampa Bay. Garcia was supposed to start today. Phelps was supposed to start tomorrow. That was changed before yesterday's game.
Feeling maybe that a little extra rest for Freddie Garcia at this time of year.
Here's Ichiro. 1-0. Yankees need some offense. Snap out of their doldrums right here. They have just one hit in this game. Cano's opposite field home run. The only other base runner, a walk by Nix with 2 outs in the 5th. They were shut down yesterday by Miguel Gonzalez. And now getting shut down by Chen. And we asked Kenny this question yesterday. You have to keep asking, well, is the offense just in a malaise, or is it the pitching that they're coming across? But you'd be hard pressed to say, well, that many pitchers could be that effective against them.
Although today, we saw it last night that Gonzalez mixes pitches well. Then we see today, there's Miguel Gonzalez, last night's winner. And today it's Chen using the formula of first pitch strikes, although he fell behind Ichiro here.
And Chen deals. Slash foul. Ichiro grounded to second. That was in the 3rd. It'll be Ichiro, Jeter, and Swisher. 9, 1, and 2 in the Yankee order. And Suzuki's worked the count full. Popped up, shallow center. Coming on is Jones for the first out. Bottom of the 5th inning in Toronto. Tampa Bay now leads Toronto 4-2. Only other game in early afternoon. San Francisco leads the Cubs in Wrigley 5-2, top of the 6th. Here's Derek Jeter. Now, Derek is very good with the first pitch in an at-bat. He's hitting .394 when he hits the first pitch, including 4 home runs. So let's see if he jumps on the first offering by Chen. No, low and away, 1-0.
Well, Chen's ability to throw first pitch strikes would lead you to believe you might get the best pitch to hit. But that was low and away.
I think what you're going to see is those stats obviously get around Major League Baseball and how Derek starts the first inning. You know, hunting the first pitch fastball, they're going to change the way they pitched him.
Well, a lot of it has to do with the machismo of the Major League pitcher. He steps in, he thinks my fastball's good enough, I warmed up with it, I'm going to bring it to the mound. And I will throw it on the first base hit. Well, maybe it's not as good as I thought it was.
Well, we've seen Jeter do that to Verlander.
First pitch of the game, home run.
Yep. And the 1-2. Strike 3. Jeter down looking. Didn't agree with the call.
Thought it was low. And you saw Weeters with that little, watch the little pull at the end. Pull that ball back up.
There's Nick Swisher. He's 0 for 2. Nice catch by Markakis in the first, and then a ground ball second in the fourth. 1-1.
He started Nick off with a changeup. And it wasn't that long ago that Nick Swisher was swinging a very hot bat. And now all of a sudden it's just like fastball, changeup, not many breaking balls.
And you said this yesterday, Kenny. He's kind of late on the fastball and much too quick on the breaking ball. He's caught between.
You just saw that.
Yep.
He was early, pulled the ball foul, then late on the fastball.
Some frustration on Jeter's face, the way things are going, and that last call, third strike as well.
Chen is very, very good at burying that fastball in on the hands. It's the thing about it, there's not much movement to this fastball. It's pretty straight, but he can locate it very well.
Count 1-2.
Chen in his rookie year leads the Orioles staff in strikeouts.
Lined into right center field. It's going to dunk in for a base hit. 2-out single for Swisher, and that brings up Cano as a tying run.
Looked like an off-speed pitch. Swisher's going to stay back, and just used his hands to flick that one into right center field. Yep, you can see the change-up grip, more fingers on the ball. And Swisher brings the tying run to the plate in the person of Robertson Cano. Cano with the home run in the fourth inning has pulled within one of his career high, which he set last year. So it appears that he might be going over the 30 mark at home runs for the first time in his career. The whole month of September to go.
Skied the other way. No foul.
Fourth inning, 0-2 pitch. Not quite high enough. He got the good wood and into the front row.
Missed in the count, 2-1.
Watching the pitch count get up there to 86 here in the sixth inning. He's had to work a little harder the last two, speaking of Chen.
That one is a high fly ball to right. Going back is Markakis. He's on the track. He makes the play right at the wall as Cano's bid for a tie game falls a couple of feet short. No runs, a hit, no errors, and one man left on base. Again, Markakis uses up all the real estate to haul it in. Brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. Orioles 3 runs on 3 hits. The Yankees 1 run on 2 hits with 1 error. Weeters with a solo home run for the O's. Chen has given the Orioles 6 innings of 1 walk, 1 run, 4 strikeout baseball. And Granderson left the game after striking out in the second inning with a tight right hamstring. Buck Showalter goes to the bench. He's going to send up Robert Andino to pinch hit for Quintanilla against Boone Logan. Cadillac scoreboard shows the Orioles up 3-1.
Andino came in the last night's ball game. And initially, when Brian Roberts went out last year and didn't play much because of concussion problems, it was Andino who took over the majority of play at second base. Did a pretty good job. It was his hit that ended the Red Sox season last year.
And they call it the curse of the Andino. The 0-2. Popped up, shallow left center. Long run for Cano. Oh, what a play! A great play by Robertson Cano. Outstanding.
This is as good as it gets as far as catching a pop-up. Cano on the run, reaches out and snatches it about belt high. He calls for it, throws the hand up, let everybody know. You know, there's always a danger with the oncoming outfielders and the infielder going back. All 3 of the eyes or all 3 of the players trained on the ball. This is the pop-up off the bat of Andino. And Cano, ranging into medium left center field, makes the play.
Machado with a bunt down the third baseline. Fielded by Nick, fires to first, and the ball gets by Pierce. Machado will go to second. He'll stop right there. So that's going to be a base hit and an E5.
Good bunt by Machado on the run, and the ball gets by Pierce. First of all, the rookie's showing good form with the bunt, showing good speed going down the line, has himself a hit. Now he has an extra base on the throwing error. So Machado was his second hit of the day, his second straight multi-hit game.
Now, that was a bad throw. But you don't realize how much you miss Mark Teixeira until Mark Teixeira's not there. A play against Toronto, Derek Lowe threw a ball past Nick Swisher, who does a nice job at first, but he's not Mark Teixeira. And that one right there, Pierce tried to pick it. Mark Teixeira picks it cleanly. Job of Chamberlain up.
Or he keeps the ball in front of him, that's for sure.
And Chavez was playing first on the play against Toronto, not Nick. So the count 0-1 now on Markakis.
Good off-speed pitch from Logan. Markakis well out in front. Logan's ability to change speeds on the breaking ball.
Rip foul into the seats. 7th inning on a beautiful day in New York City. As we count down the final days of summer.
Do we have to?
We don't have to, but it's happening.
At the same time each year.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. Powered a fastball by Markakis. 2 outs.
The off-speed stuff makes the fastball look even better. Markakis able just to foul tip it into the glove of Russell Martin. Barely got a piece of it.
Now, rather than bringing the right-hander right now, he's going to have Boone Logan intentionally walk Hardy and take his chance against McLeod. I get the righty-lefty aspect of it, but boy, that's a lot of respect for J.J. Hardy.
He hit a home run here last night. He's hit well against the Yankees this year. I think that's the key. You know, his overall numbers might not be off the charts for the season, but against the Yankees, he's been pretty darn good. So there's your respect factor.
This will be the first time that Nate McLeod has ever faced Boone Logan. It's a big at bat in this game. The way the Yankee offense has struggled, 3-1, you want to keep it right here. Foul bat.
Yeah, this is a key guy because job is up just in case they get the Andrew Jones this inning, which the Yankees are hoping it does not. Adam Jones this inning, which the Yankees, of course, don't want to happen. So as Michael said, this is a key at bat for more reasons than one.
Job is about ready. Fly ball, right field. Swisher is there, and Boone Logan gets out of a jam. No runs, a hit, 1 error, and 2 men left on base at the end of 6.5 innings of play. Orioles 3, Yankees 1. Time for the 7th inning stretch here at the stadium, and we will honor America and stay right here in the Bronx.
Offer a moment of silent prayer as we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now, joining Keith Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
Nix, Pierce, and Jeter. Rush. Brought to you by Mazda. Weigh in Chen, 4 strikeouts on the day. We're going to check them out. He's going to catch Curtis Granderson looking. Jason Nix swinging. Steve Pierce swinging, and Derek Jeter looking. That's the K by K brought to you by Mazda. 4 strikeouts and a walk for Wei-Yin Chen.
I have just 2 hits, a home run by Cano and a single by Swisher. And Cano almost tied up the game with a home run to end the 6th. Robert Andino takes over at second base for Quintanilla. He had pinch hit for Quintanilla. So we're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Andrew Jones will lead off against Wei-Yin Chen. Andrew Jones 0 for 2. Ground ball to short, ground ball to third. And he swings at the first pitch and pops it up. Hardy. 1 pitch, 1 out. Andrew Jones is really struggling. And the Cadillac scoreboard shows the Yankees are struggling as they're down 3-1. And I know that there are players hurt, but at some point, if Andrew's going to keep struggling, you can't have him back cleanup. You've almost got to try somebody else in that spot. Yes. He is really struggling.
He hasn't gotten the ball out of the infield today.
Pitch is outside to Pierce.
But he's not the only one. Chen has kept the Yankee offense certainly in check today. Only 2 hits.
There's 3 as Pierce connects for single. By the way, Jones hitting 137 since the All-Star break. Strop, Pedro Strop, the right-hander.
Heating up in a hurry.
There's Russell Martin. Russell's 0 for 2, fly ball to right, and a ground ball to short. There's another first pitch strike by Chen. David Robertson up for the Yankees in their pen. Oh and 2. That base hit by Steve Pearce, that's his first as a Yankee. High fly ball, center field. Adam Jones will put it away for the second out.
Yeah, before the ball game, I was talking to Yankee third base coach Robbie Thompson, and he paid Adam Jones a compliment, saying that the guy can really defend. Jones has won a Gold Glove. He says he plays shallow. He can go back on the ball, comes in well, strong arm. This is kind of an easy play, but you can see Russell Martin's reaction, frustration in the way he let go of the bat. And there are 2 down here in the 7th.
Here's Jason Hicks. Rips one foul.
I would think that with the Orioles bullpen of Strop and Johnson, this is going to be, if Chen can get through this inning, this is going to be his last inning. Strop is up and throwing now.
Count 0 and 2. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Rip foul.
Pitching coach Rick Adair has to be happy with the outing of Chen today. The fact that Chen lately has been having one good start and one bad one, alternating. Today he's been on the good side.
Count 1 and 2. Bottom of the 7th inning here at the stadium. 3 1-0s. Orioles with a run in the 1st, 2nd, and the 4th. Yankees with an opposite field solo shot by Robertson Cano in the 4th inning, and that's the scoring in this game. Orioles with 4 hits, the Yankees with 3. And the count 2 and 2. And now 3 and 2. With Eduardo Nunez on deck.
Coming up on the century mark in pitches for Chen.
Missed outside, so Nix walks for the second time today. And that will move Pierce to second, and the Yankees have the tying runs on. Adair will come out and talk with Chen.
Were you thinking that Strop was coming in the game? If Buck Showalter had gone out, Edmund Strop. But instead, you're going to leave Chen in there.
You know, if you leave him in for Nunez, you have to almost leave him in for Suzuki.
That's true. So evidently they want him to get through this inning. But the thing about it, he's going to have to pitch to Nunez now. You can't go out there twice in one batter.
Nunez just called up today as the roster's expanded. He's 0 for 2. Loops that one into left field, a base hit for Nunez. Pierce will score. The throw comes into second as Nix moves to third. Eduardo Nunez comes up to the big team and gets a big hit to cut it to 3-2. Well, that is going to do it. He will not let Chen pitch to Ichiro. He's going to bring in Strop. Chen was good, but the Yankees have rallied here in the 7th. It's 3-2. Runners on first and third with 2 outs. Come on back.
Somewhat on the label. Actually, the bat was broken, but still got enough of it to drive it into center field for a base hit. You can see the bat beginning to snap there just below the label. Here's the base hit. Steve Pierce is going to score, but on the play, Nix goes all the way to third. And it's now a 3-2 game. Eduardo Nunez. Those are the numbers on Chen. 101 pitches. Pedro Strop comes in out of the bullpen.
Strop deals inside. Ichiro grounded to second and a fly ball to center. Outside, 2-0.
Yeah, Strop has a strong arm, throws very, very hard, upwards of 98, maybe close to 100 at times.
Their bullpen has been one of the reasons for their success. 3.07 ERA. pitch away from loading the bases for Jeter. Nix is at third. Nunez is at first. The 3-0. Right down the middle. 3-1. Hard-throwing right-hander deals. And he walks Ichiro on 5 pitches. Bases loaded.
Not much of a history between Jeter and Strop. Only 2 at-bats. Jeter has 1 hit.
There's a strike. 327 hitter with the bases loaded in his career with a grand slam. That was against the Cubs. And that was at the stadium across the street. He's 3 for 10 this year in these spots. '97 right on the hands in the count 0-2. Big spot in this game. Bases loaded. Yankees trying to rally. They're down 3-2 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Jeter robbed of an extra base hit. Diving catch by McLeod in the first. Grounded to first in the 4th. Struck out looking in the 6th. And now it's Strop against the captain. And the 0-2. Fastball high is 1-2. He's been good in these spots, especially since July 25th. One-two. Foul ball.
Looked like that pitch might have been sailing inside. Yep. Look at 2-seamer. Jeter trying to check the swing. But fouls it off.
Nix is at third. Nunez at second. Ichiro's at first. 2 men out. We're in the bottom of the 7th. 1 run already in. Yankees trail 3-2. Nick Swisher is on deck. Showalter on the edge of his seat. Two-two. Breaking ball had no bite, so now it's 3-2, and everybody's going to go 3-2, 2 outs. So Strop, who's been so lights out for the O's, has to deliver here on the payoff.
He's thrown 2 breaking balls in this at bat. The first one he got over. That first pitch to Jeter, that one was, as Michael said, nowhere near it. So you have to figure he's going with his best pitch, which is that fastball, 95 plus.
Runners go. Missed inside. Tie game. That'll force home a run.
Strop is, I don't know if he's mad at himself or he walked halfway to home plate. But he didn't get the call. And Chen's not going to get a win.
And he might get a loss.
We take a look. That is definitely inside, ball 4. It looks like he was mad at himself. He didn't say anything to the umpire.
Rick Adair's going to go out and try to quiet him down and settle him down.
He's come in and walked the first 2 batters he's faced.
Remember, everybody, tomorrow afternoon, the Yankees and the Orioles conclude this AL East clash right here in the Bronx. Our coverage will start at 12:30 with the Tri-State 4 pregame. Then Kenny and I are back in the booth for all the action. It's going to be only on Yes. Brian Mattis begins the throw. So the Yankees have partially awakened from their offensive slumber to tie this game. But a big hit here gives them the lead. Swisher against Strop. Bases loaded. Missed with the breaking ball. A lot of catchers will call the breaking ball to slow down a pitcher, get his mechanics right.
It worked on the first pitch to Jeter. From that point on, Strop had trouble locating.
Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, said Dan Bellino.
Swisher's going to help Strop out here, try to be quick inside, and the call is that he went around too far. This is where your plate discipline has to come in. The pitcher's really struggling to throw strikes. You got to make him throw it right into that teacup towards the middle of the plate. There it is, a little bit high. Better discipline that. That was a borderline pitch. Mattis is getting ready in a hurry. You got a left-handed hitter and Cano on deck.
Out of 15 pitches, 10 out of the strike zone for Strop.
Whoa.
That one way outside.
Well, if you're Nick Swisher, you're thinking, can he throw a ball before he can throw 2 strikes? Unless this one's right down the middle, you're taking.
3-1. Popped up. Long run for Machado. And it makes the seats. So now the runners will go again. 3-2 and 2 outs. Nick this year with the bases loaded has had 2 grand slams and driven in 13 runs. Nunez at third, Ichiro at second, and Jeter is at first.
Yeah, good speed on the bases for the Yankees.
Runners go. 3-2. Hit sharply to short. Bobbled again, and the Yankees take the lead 4-3. Hardy could not come up with it. It'll be an E6, and the Yankees lead by 1.
And that error could be a result of a couple of things. First of all, Strop's not throwing any strikes. The fielders have a tendency to get back on their heels. Ball's hit hard. That's number 2. Up into his chest, knocks it down in his haste to come up with it. Double, maybe even a triple dribble. This is on Yesmo. And the Yankees are going to take the lead. Remember what I said. Hardy is the fielding percentage leader in the American League. But even the best make errors from time to time. Ball's hit hard by Swisher. Here comes Nunez. The Yankees have the lead.
Well, Showalter has seen enough of Strop. And now we will call on Brian Mattis. Mattis against Cano with the bases loaded and the Yankees up by 1. for the Yanks as Brian Mattis will come in. They have a runner on first base with 2 outs. Jason Nix walks. Eduardo Nunez a broken bat single to make it 3-2. Strop comes on a walk to Suzuki to load the bases. A walk to Jeter to force in a run. Nick Swisher, a ground ball to short, booted by Hardy, gives the Yankees a 4-3 lead. An opportunity to pad that lead now with Cano at the plate against Mattis.
Yeah, the Yankees have batted around here in the 7th inning.
Strike.
We saw Mattis come into the ball game last night, and he gave up a home run to Granderson in a left-on-left matchup.
Likes to hit against Mattis, 9 for 26. 2 of the 9 home runs.
By the way, that was only the 6th error of the season for J.J. Hardy.
Ichiro's at third. Jeter's at second. Swisher is at first.
Look out.
Count 2-1. Wei-Yin Chen will not win. He could certainly lose. No, you know what? He can't. His runners have scored.
Yep, they have.
So this now is on Strop. Sky to left field. Long run from McLeod in the corner. And he runs out of room. Two and two count.
All 3 of the runs that have scored were Chen's runners.
Yep. So he will get the loss.
Yeah, if they don't rally. And as good as he was early in the ball game, he retired the first 11 Yankees he faced before giving up the home run to Cano. And then he retired 6 more in a row. Or I should say 4 more in a row.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded. We're in the bottom of the 7th. And another 3-2 count. High fly ball, left field. McLeod back and makes the play for the final out. But the Yankees get 3 runs. The big hits, Eduardo Nunez an RBI single. Derek Jeter a bases loaded walk. And then Nick Swisher hits a ground ball that's booted by Hardy to give the Yankees the lead. text your vote to 42951 or vote online at yesnetwork.com. Here are your choices. Is it Derek Jeter? Is it Cano? Is it Matt Weeters? Is it Machado? Vote now and make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. Well, now the Yankee bullpen has to hold it right here. They have a 4-3 lead, and they'll bring in David Robertson to pitch the 8th inning. Then he'll face Adam Jones, Matt Weeters, and Chris Davis. 60 strikeouts in 45 1/3 innings. Hyundai scoreboard 4-3, Yankees lead. Check swing, foul back. For the Yankees, Boone Logan is now the pitcher of record.
So the Baltimore bullpen could not hold the lead. Yankees turn it to Robertson here in the 8th, which has been his domain for most of the season.
Fly ball right field. Swisher puts it away for the first out. Here's Matt Weeters. Weeters 1 for 2 with a walk. He has a home run in the game. His 18th of the year. Count 1-0. Limited numbers against Robertson. 2 for 5, but 1 of the 2 a home run. And a count 2-0. So an unconventional rally by the Yankees in the bottom of the 7th, but at this point you take it any way you can get it.
A certain amount of patience by the hitters to take ball after ball. That, well, most of them weren't really that close to the strike zone. Jeter's at bat maybe the most contentious as far as balls and strikes. It's very close, but he eyeballed his way to an RBI base on balls. And that tied the game.
Takes that one all the way, 3-1. Mark Teixeira is on the DL. Very interested fan. Hoping to get back sometime next week against this Orioles team in Baltimore. Two.
Weeters had tie game on his mind. Big swing and a miss.
Grounded to third. Ranging forward to the glove side is Nix, and he gets Weeters for the second out.
Ranging to his left. Now we've seen Nix very proficient at all 3 infield spots. Second, short, and third. We've also seen him in left field a few times this year. Does a good job wherever Joe Girardi puts him.
Here's Chris Davis. Tries to hold up. He cannot on the breaking ball. Rafael Sorano and Justin Thomas, who was just called up, warming. Unless the Yankees score 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning, I'd be surprised if you saw Justin Thomas. Skied the other way. In the seats.
You know, you see the reaction of the fan who got the ball. You see it time and time again how happy everybody. But the fans just around them, they're the ones who are happy for it but disappointed they weren't the ones to get it. You know. Well, look at this. You can look at it.
Sounds like a broken bat, ground ball to Cano. And that is going to do it. As the Orioles go down in order against David Robertson. We're going to the bottom of the 8th inning. Yankees up 4-3. Nancy Newman and Jack Curry have a full recap of today's action, including highlights from around baseball. Plus, Meredith Marakovitz gets the team's reaction and Joe Girardi's manager's report. It's the WB Mason postgame. It's only on Yes. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's a new pitcher for the Orioles. It's sidewinding right-hander Darren O'Day.
We saw him for an inning last night. He worked a scoreless inning, scoreless 8th with a strikeout. And by the numbers, it tells you he's having a pretty good year. Opponent's hitting just .216, and I bet you right-handed hitters aren't hitting much.
Hyundai scoreboard 4-3. Yankees lead. Andrew Jones will start it off.
Before the game, I was down near the cages after the Yankees had come on the field to take batting practice, and there was a youngster in the cage just throwing the ball up and hitting it. And it turned out to be Andrew Jones' son, 8-year-old Drew Jones. So as he was hitting, I said, "Can you hit him left-handed?" He said, "Yeah." He turned right around, threw the ball up left-handed, hit it, and I mean, he was stroking it. I said, "Yeah, you got a future as a switch hitter." He says, "I'm going to try."
How old is he?
8 years old. Working on his game. So Drew, keep practicing. And I bet you even your daddy will tell you it's an advantage of having being able to switch hit.
Andrew today is 0 for 3. Fouled straight back here.
Drew told me he was 8 years old, but he said soon to be 9. wonder what point in life you get to the point where you don't say soon to be.
I don't know if you ever say that. The 0-2.
Maybe an 8-year-old would say, but you get to be hard. You're not saying soon to be. Yeah, you want to go the other way.
But unless you're Benjamin Button, you don't. So you'd rather be soon to be than. 1-2. Popped up. And Dino for the first out. Hey, I misspoke before when we showed Mark Teixeira. Said he's on the deal. He's injured. Obviously, they didn't put him on the deal. They gambled those 3 games. So when he's ready to go, and it could be longer than 15 days, he's going to be able to go whenever he can step on the field. So he's not on the DL. He's just injured.
Yeah, there's really not a DL this time of year.
And he was hurt, obviously, before September 1st, so they had to gamble. Do we play with 24 guys the last 3 days before the rosters expand? And they decided to do that. Even if they don't have Mark for 10, 11 games, if they can get him back 3 days earlier, they felt it was worth the gamble. Raul Ibanez is going to pinch hit for Steve Pearce.
Joe Girardi hoping that the Ibanez with one swing in the back can sell the Yankees some insurance here in the 8th inning.
Fouled away. Two-one. Driven deep to right field. Fair ball. It's gone. It is foul.
Just a little out in front of an off-speed pitch. You can see that the Ibanez, a hitter will tell you, he knew it. Too much turn.
Pitch outside. 3-2. Sorano coming back. Tampa Bay was up 4-0 in this game, then 4-2. Now it's 5-4, bottom of the 8th. And the Blue Jays have 2 runners on in the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll keep you updated. High fly ball, left field. McLouth for the second out. Sorano is ready. Listening to Mike Harkey.
Looked like a little fire and brimstone there, didn't it? Robertson got through the 8th unscathed. 1, 2, 3.
Strike to Russell Martin.
Bottom third of the order scheduled for the Orioles in the top of the 9th.
Fly ball, right field. Markakis is there, and that will do it as the Yankees go down in order. Now it comes to the 9th. Reynolds, Andino, and Machado are due up against that man right there. Around. If you missed any of the big hits and great plays, just watch the encore later every night or again the next morning at 9. Brought to you by Verizon Fios. All right, some defensive changes for the Yankees. Chris Dickerson, who was called up today with the rosters expanded, he moves to left field. Andrew Jones, who started in right, then moved to left, now goes back to right. And Nick Swisher, who started first and went to right, now is back to first. And the Yankees have their closer on the mound, Rafael Sorano.
Did you get all that?
I think so.
Okay. Part of that September flexibility that managers have. Dickerson, of course, we've seen him in the past in the major leagues. He was looking at the numbers for Sorano. And he's in charge of holding on to this one-run lead. Dickerson, we've seen in the past as a defensive replacement, has a very strong throwing arm. And a pretty good year with the bat down at Scranton Wilkes-Barre this year. Hit over 300.
Yankees are trying to buck a trend here. The Orioles are the king of the one-run win. They are 24-6 in one-run games. In fact, they've won their last 13 in a row. So they are down 4-3 here in the top of the 9th inning. And Mark Reynolds will start it off against Rafael Sorano. There's the strike. Soriano blew a save against the Toronto Blue Jays and then had a talk with Mariano Rivera. And Mariano told him, "You're throwing your breaking ball too much. You have a good fastball. Just throw your fastball. Don't throw the breaking ball that much."
There it is. 94. Now here's where you can start expanding on Reynolds. He's a dangerous hitter.
One away.
Fastball.
Now the Orioles will send up Wilson Betemit to pinch hit for Andino. And on Yesmo, it still gets by Reynolds.
Even though it's slowed down.
So was his bat.
Betemit had been on a disabled list with a wrist injury. And he's just returning from a minor league rehab. Former Yankee.
95-mile-an-hour fastball, 0-1. Another 95, 0-2.
Can you hear Mariano whispering in his ear? Happy look. Trying to get him to chase that breaking ball in the dirt.
Line drive foul.
Betemit had been playing a lot of third base, but now with the insertion of Manny Machado, the rookie at third, Betemit's playing time might go down.
One and two. Swing and a miss. Slider in the dirt. Martin gets an angle. Yankees 1 out away.
Well, the third time was a charm as far as getting Betemit to chase his pitch in the dirt. They tried it once. He fouled it off. Another time he foul tipped it. This time he swings right through it. And that is out number 2. You can see the spin on the pitch. You can see it better than Betemit did.
'20-year-old Manny Machado, 2 for 3. Orioles' final chance. 0-1. Missed outside, 1-1. Yankees 3-7 in their last 10, trying to bump their lead back to 3 in the AL East with a win over the Orioles. They lead 4-3, 1-1 count, 2 outs, 9th. Now they're 1 strike away. What's left of a crowd of 46,122. They slowly get to their feet. High fly ball, left field, and out of play. Threw a slider there. Popped up. Swisher in foul territory. Yankees win 4-3. And file that under the heading of boy, did they need that. Yankees 3 innings away from having their lead whittled down to 1. An unconventional rally in the 7th gives them 3 runs, gives them a 4-3 lead, and it gives them